You get your blood test results back, you're scanning through them, and you see these three letters, MCH. And you're probably thinking, what on earth is that? Well, let's shed some light on what that number really means for your health.
If that acronym has had you scratching your head, you are in exactly the right place. Over the next few minutes, we're going to break down precisely what your body might be trying to tell you through that one little measurement. All right, let's crack this code. To really get what MCOH is, we first have to talk about a superstar protein that's doing all the heavy lifting inside your bloodstream. Okay, so first things first. MCH isn't actually a thing floating around in your blood. Nope. It's a measurement. Think of it like a quality check that tells your doctor the average amount of a protein called hemoglobin that's packed inside each and every one of your red blood cells.
So what is this hemoglobin stuff anyway? Let's try an analogy. Imagine your red blood cells are a giant fleet of tiny delivery trucks. Well, hemoglobin is the super important cargo they carry. Oxygen. MCH is just a way of measuring, on average, how full each of those trucks is.
And these are the numbers your doctor is looking at. They're measured in something called picograms, which is just an incredibly tiny unit of weight. Really, all they're checking is if your levels fall into the low, typical, or high range. Anything outside that typical sweet spot is just a little flag to investigate a bit more. Okay, so let's go down our first path. We'll start by exploring what it means when your MCH value comes back on the low side. So what does a low MCH value actually mean? If we go back to our delivery truck analogy, it just means that, on average, your trucks aren't fully loaded. There's less oxygen-carrying hemoglobin in each red blood cell than there should be. So why would that happen? Well, the number one reason, the most common culprit, is iron deficiency anemia. You see, iron is a critical building block for making hemoglobin. If you don't have enough iron, you can't make enough hemoglobin. It can come from your diet, from blood loss, or in some pretty rare cases, it can be a genetic condition. And the symptoms of low MCH make total sense when you think about it. I mean, if your body's oxygen delivery service is underperforming, you're gonna feel it. You might feel tired, get short of breath, or even get headaches. Now, here's the good news. The treatment is usually pretty direct. For most people, it's all about boosting those iron levels with iron-rich foods and maybe some supplements. Of course, in more serious situations, a doctor might suggest something like IV iron or even a transfusion. Okay. Let's switch gears and explore the other fork in the road. What does it mean when your MCH value is high? When your red blood cells are packed with more hemoglobin than usual? So on the flip side, a high MCH value means your red blood cells have a larger than average amount of hemoglobin. Our delivery trucks are basically overstuffed. And while you might think, hey, more is better, right? Well, not always. It can actually point to some other issues. This is often caused by a completely different kind of deficiency. We're talking about B vitamins, specifically B12 and folate. These vitamins are absolutely essential for producing healthy red blood cells. A high MCH can also be a hint about other things going on, like with your liver or thyroid. You know, while some of the general symptoms like fatigue are the same as with low MCH, a high MCH can come with its own unique clothes. A B12 deficiency might cause that weird tingling in your hands and feet, while a folate deficiency can lead to things like digestive issues or a sensitive tongue. And just like with low MCH, the treatment here is all about getting to the root cause. This usually means getting those B vitamin levels back to normal through diet and supplements. If your body has trouble absorbing them, injections can be a game changer. And of course, managing any other underlying condition is always key. So if you remember just one thing from all this, make it this. It's actually pretty simple when you boil it down. Low MCH is often a problem with an ingredient, a lack of iron to make the hemoglobin. High MCH is often a problem with the factory, a lack of the B vitamins needed to build healthy red blood cells in the first place. So we've looked at the low path and the high path. Let's bring it all together now and talk about what this means for you and your health going forward. And here is the most important takeaway. No matter which way your MCH number swings, low or high, the outlook is generally really positive. Most of the time, the underlying causes are very manageable with some lifestyle changes and, of course, support from your doctor. The goal here was really just to demystify that one little line on your lab report. Now, you're equipped to understand what MCH means, and you can have a much more informed, confident conversation with your doctor. And the next time you see that report, you'll know exactly what you're looking at.